Hello YouTube and welcome back to Let's Talk Retro. Today we're going to talk to you about a game on this great system, the Super Nintendo.
And the game is F-Zero. F-Zero was a launch title for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES as it's more commonly known, way back in 1990. It was the first SNES game to use a technique Nintendo called Mode 7 scrolling, where Mode 7 was combined with scaling and positioning of the layer on a scanline by scanline basis. It could simulate 3D environments.
The game, as you can see, is a futuristic racing game that when in Grand Prix mode, you can race 15 courses that are located on 9 different planets, all spread across the universe. The idea, as with all racing games, is to finish as high as possible in each race and to hopefully win or come high enough to win the Grand Prix. Of course, there are rival drivers that will try and stop you, as well as track features and hazards that can even help or hinder your progress. So that's the game in a nutshell.
But now let's take a closer look. So when the game loads, you are presented with the title screen, which has 3 options: Grand Prix, Practice and Records, and that's basically it.
Okay, so onto the vehicles, or the machines as the game calls it. First one's the blue one, that's the Blue Falcon. That's piloted by Captain Falcon. Next one, that's the Golden Fox, piloted by Dr. Robert Stewart. Next up, the green one, and that's the Wild Goose, piloted by Hiko, an alien from Death Wind. And the last one, the purple one, Fire Stingray, and that's piloted by Samurai Gorok, and he's the leader of a renegade band of thieves, and his machine is believed to be stolen property.
Next up, you've got your race options, where you've got 3 leagues to choose from: Knight League, Queen League and King League. And then you've got your class, which is beginner, standard or expert.
Now we're going to point out what everything is on the screen layout. First up is the points display. This displays the total number of points earned so far. This is the target rank display. If you fail to pass the goal line at this rank or higher, you'll be disqualified. This is your machine's current rank. If the current rank is below the target rank, the number will flash red and a warning buzzer will sound. This is the course layout. The dot on the course is the current position of your machine. This is the check marker, and it displays when a rival is directly behind you. Next up is the enemy rank marker, only just visible here. It shows the position of your rival. This pink bar is the power meter. This is the speedometer, followed by the race time display. This indicates how many lives or machines that you've got remaining, and below it the super jet reserve, or turbo boost as we often call them. And finally, on the left hand side of the screen, you've got the stripy lane. That's your pit lane, where you can recharge your power.
So every good game needs good controls, so let's take a quick look at them. At the top of the controller, the left and right bumper buttons, they shift your weight left and right, which helps you steer around sharp corners. You steer your machine by pressing left and right on the D-pad, no surprise there. Whilst pressing up or down on the D-pad will point the nose of your machine in that direction whilst you're in a jump. The start button pauses the game. Y and X, or green and blue if you like, they both brake. Whilst B, which is coloured yellow, is the accelerator, and A, which is coloured red, is your superjet or turbo. Those, ladies and gentlemen, are your controls. So the aim of the game with F-Zero is really no different to any other racing game. It's just to get yourself into first position and win each race. That said though, the main goal is to complete each course, finishing as one of the top 3 pilots for all 5 courses within each league circuit. Within a single race, machines vie for ranking over 5 laps. Each lap must be completed within a fixed target rank or disqualification will occur. So with that in mind, on the first lap you must pass the goal line within 15th place. On the second lap you must pass the goal line within 10th place. On the third lap you must pass the goal line within 7th place. On the fourth lap you must pass the goal line within 5th place. And then on the final lap you must be ranked within the top 3 finishers. Now moving on to what I find is the rather complicated point system. Basically you get given points depending on where you are at the end of each lap. So for example, if you're in rank 1 at the end of a lap you get 900 points. If you're at rank 2 at the end of a lap you get 600 points. If you're at rank 3 at the end of a lap you get 400 points. And if you're 4th place or below you get 200 points. However, the point system changes slightly on the final lap, where if you finish in 1st place you get 2,500 points, 2nd place you get 1,500 points, and 3rd place you get 1,000 points. And finally, while we're talking about points, one more thing you need to know is that when your score reaches 10,000 points, 20,000 points or 30,000 points, you're awarded an additional spare machine. You're only allowed to keep a total of 5 spare machines at any one time though.
The Super Jet Reserve is a turbo that you collect every time you complete a lap. You can have a maximum of 3, and when they're in use they glow red. Here you can see I've just picked one up and it's green. Your power meter will actually decrease if you hit a rival or hit the barrier like I've just done here. But don't worry, you can fill up your power meter by going into the pit lane like I'm doing here. If your power meter reaches a certain level you start getting this warning sound, and if it goes too low this happens. Or if you're not too careful, like I am showing you here, you can destroy your machine like this.
There are 15 courses in the game. We're going to show you a lap of 7 of them now, but all the other courses are just variations on these courses depending on what difficulty level you're on. This track is the first track you'll come across on the game and it's called Mute City. Mute City is the biggest city on all the Space Federation's planets. The next course is Big Blue, and 99% of this planet's surface is covered in water. This game really does have a great soundtrack, by the way. Next up we have Sand Ocean. The entire surface here is covered in dunes. In ancient days, primitive animals lived on this planet. However, now only their fossilized remains can be found. Next we have Deathwind, the most peaceful place in the universe, a planet where fierce winds blow without respite. This course is called Silence, a truly soundless planet where not even a single noise can be heard. Designed as a final course for the Night League, this course is made up of almost entirely of right-angled corners. It's truly a test of a pilot's judgment and technique in cornering. Next up we have White Island. Covered in crystals, this is the most romantic planet in the universe. And finally we have Port Town. This is a harbour town that has been a relay point for intergalactic trade since times gone by. It is renowned among the pilots as the most technically demanding of all courses. So that was a look at F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. I enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that, James?
Yeah, great game.
Yeah, it's still very playable today and it's very addictive. And if you haven't got it in your collection, I suggest you pick a copy up.
Yeah, the current price is on eBay, about £10 for the cartridge only. But if you prefer a boxed one, you're looking about £20 to £35.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us, and until next time, James, what they got to do?
Yeah, keep it retro.
Yeah, keep it retro, guys. We'll see you again soon. So I bet you thought we were going to bugger off without showing you a full race, but we saved one right till last. This is a full race on the Big Blue track, or circuit, and if I remember rightly, I don't do too well, but I managed to pull it back right at the very end. If you've been enjoying our videos and you haven't already done so, then please subscribe to our channel, that would mean a lot to us. And don't forget, you can also catch up with us on our website and on the various social networking sites. You'll find links to all those in the description of this video. I will leave you to enjoy the rest of this race in peace, and like we've already said, until next time guys, keep it retro.